This is the rise of Tariq St. Patrick Part 2, and as Tariq says, ghosts never die. But will Tariq achieve the greatness his father did, or can he go one step further and surpass the great James St. Patrick, Ghost? Welcome back to MovieBot, and welcome to the rise of Tariq St. Patrick of Power Book 2 Ghost. So there were doubts in minds about Tariq St. Patrick. Many had hatred towards him, many resented him, and many disliked him for what he did to his father Ghost. But as Power Book 2 Season 1 came to a close, we witnessed something that many thought was impossible, and that's the rise of Ghost through Tariq St. Patrick. So in this video I'm talking how and why Tariq St. Patrick will go one step further than the great James St. Patrick and eventually go on to claim the name Ghost in a later season. But first, if you're new to the channel, then welcome to MovieBot. Welcome to the rise of Tariq St. Patrick, and remember to smash the subscribe button. Now both Ghost and Tariq grew up with the same mentor. They were taught the way of the streets by Kanan and at a similar age too. Tariq actually caught his first body around the same age when Ghost did, but we can go as far as saying Tariq has had more than just one teacher in the game. He's been taught the way of the streets by Kanan, he's learned how to be 2 steps ahead of his opponents by Ghost. You could say he's learned how to be a ruthless killer from his uncle Tommy, and he was taught the game by his mother Tasha. But he'll have more teachers along the way, which has been teased by Courtney Kemp, and could Tube be one of them, his future teacher or a mentor, someone that could protect him, and would no doubt aid him into one day earning the name of Ghost. And as Power Book 2 Ghost began, it was evident that Tariq was growing to be just like his father. We saw Tasha tell Tariq that he's just like his father, Simon Stern who said he reminds him of his father, and Uncle Gabe who said he's just like his father and to be proud of him, with Tariq saying on each occasion that he's nothing like Ghost, but little did he know he'd be admitting that hopefully that he'd be worthy of his father's name in a conversation with Tommy Egan in front of his father's grave. From the beginning of Power Book 2 Ghost, there were many smart plays from Tariq St. Patrick as Tariq at Ghost's funeral stepped up with a smart choice of words during his eulogy as he was caught between Davis McLean and Simon Stern, who both wanted Tariq to speak opposite of his father, but he did neither, giving a real cryptic speech and doing neither in a subtle way. And from that moment on, we knew this wouldn't be the last of Tariq's choice of smart moves and words. We saw Tariq blow Cooper Saxe as he called Tariq to the stand. With his cleverly timed responses to Cooper Saxe's questions, with the help of Tamika, he helped dismiss this whole case, putting this back on Cooper Saxe, gaining Tasha's freedom and not raising suspicion on himself. And to this day, Cooper Saxe is yet to put a St. Patrick behind bars. Monet is one person who realised there's more than what meets the eye with Tariq St. Patrick, as he found out Frank was a snitch, and Monet being impressed with how he sells using course correct, and Tariq really proved he was the prince, which was the episode 4's title, a book that Tariq was studying by Machiavelli, which often referenced on how to achieve power and to be successful. A prince must read history, study war, and know his land. He must give the appearance of being good, but also know how to be evil, and also be willing to use deception and be cunning, and the people that are under him should be under control. Tariq described the prince as it shows how people get what they want in the most efficient way. People are always going to want to come for your spot, and the prince shows that no matter how much power or money a person may have, they're still going to want to come for your neck regardless. So it's better to address your competition head on rather than wait for them to storm the castle. Tariq created this efficient way of selling drugs through course correct and eliminating his competition as he looked over his empire, reminiscent of the way Ghost used to stand over his empire at Truth, a spitting image of his father Ghost. And as it reads in the Book of Prince, Tariq must be willing to use deception and be cunning and control the people around him. This is exactly what he does with Braden, Kane, the Tarders and Cooper Saxe, as he uses deception and cunning ways to always be 2 steps ahead, something Ghost proves so good at throughout the course of Power. Now let's talk about the parallels to Ghost, because Tariq understands his father's ambition, power, and Tariq really has no fear for his life or death, showing his heart of darkness and monstrous ways throughout the final half of the season. At gunpoint when Monet has a gun to Tariq's forehead, Tariq shows he has no fear of death, but rather admitting that he has everybody that cares about him, including his father, a trait similar to Ghost. Now Tariq has proved time and time again that he only kills when he has to. Ray he felt he had to due to feeling responsible for Raina's death, Kane and his own best friend to protect his family, and Ghost he believed he had to because he was getting in the way of his future. Paying off people was something Ghost did on a few occasions with Maria Suarez and Holly. Although Tariq didn't know about Ghost paying off people to disappear, it really shows he's more like his father than he first thought, as Tasha gave him the task to treat Epiphany the same way as they treated Slim, in other words kill Epiphany, but Tariq, using the money which he owed Monet, pays Epiphany to disappear. So he really is becoming more like his father every day as the weeks go on and as the season went on, and we saw the complete transformation transformation, which was symbolized from his very first court appearance to his last, as instead of wearing the red tracksuit, he has a striking resemblance of his father Ghost in his red suit, wearing Ghost's Rolex. The parallels go even further with Tariq's bloody shirt, symbolizing Ghost from the very first episode of Power, the similar situation between Ghost wanting Holly gone and Tariq wanting Riley gone, keeping information from Brayden, just like Ghost used to do with Tommy, Sebastian Stern applying pressure on Tariq the same way Simon Stern did with Ghost, and pink sneakers tried to kill Ghost, as we had yellow sneakers who attempted to take Tariq's life at Stansfield, which was a major throwback to the pink sneakers moment. And my favourite moment, Tariq looking in the mirror after killing Jabari, the same way Ghost did in Season 1, Episode 1 of Power. So let's talk about Jabari's kill and Tariq showing his Heart of Darkness as he pointed his gun at Jabari in the season finale, pulled the trigger as he was left with no choice after Jabari learned way too much information about his life, and we know in the world of Power, knowing too much information makes you one step closer to your death. And this was a long time coming for Jabari, as Tariq admitted that he killed his own father, he is the bad spot, he killed his own best friend, and it was always down to him, his family and a gun. But this wasn't the last of his inner Ghost, as Tommy Egan returned. He helped Tommy fake his own death, something many of you believe Ghost did, but we all have our differing opinions on that situation. But it was the key moment where they were at the grave, where Tommy had Tariq by his throat, in comes Monet behind to pull a gun on Tommy, reminiscent of what Ghost did with Tommy in Season 2, Episode 10, when Dre pulled up right behind Tommy, put a piece to the back of his head, and just like Tommy warned Dre to watch his back about Ghost, Tommy warned Monet to watch Tariq, because in that moment, he realized what was staring in front of him, and he said it himself, see this bullshit right here, this shit exactly like him, just like Ghost. And I do believe it was at this moment Tariq finally realized who he is and what he's becoming, as he told Tommy that hopefully the next time he sees him, he'd be worthy of Ghost's name. He went on to tell Monet that ghosts never die because he will one day claim his father's name, because he now knows Ghost runs through Tariq St. Patrick. Now in my part 1 of the Rise of Ghost, which I made after the first half of Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1, I said I have no doubt in my mind what we were watching was the rise of Ghost through Tariq St. Patrick, and as much as Tariq wanted to deny he was nothing like his father, I said he's becoming just like him. Whether he can surpass Ghost is another question, and only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Tariq has now tapped into his inner Ghost, but his story isn't complete just yet. So this video may be part 2 of the rise of Tariq St. Patrick, but it's certainly not the last. And just like in the name of Power Book 2 Ghost, Tariq's story is the rise of Ghost, because ghosts never die.